I'm back. This is going to be my last day YouTubing from the United States. I'm almost ready to board the plane and head to Estonia. I'm very excited, like I said before. Um, a lot of things are going through my mind. The first thing is how grateful I am to have such a wonderful family, particularly my father, who's been very supportive of my decision and my life decisions in general. I know that for a lot of people, um, it might seem like, why aren't you settling down roots? Why aren't you, starting a family for yourself? He's been very tolerant of my life choices, and he's understood that not everyone wants the same thing in life. So I feel very grateful for that, for all the help he's given me, for letting me stay here at um, his house before I depart. Um, so that's the first thing that I'm feeling, just a great sense of gratitude, and also a great sense of gratitude toward my friends who've also understood what I've been through in my own that what I've wanted through in life. Um, so that's one thing, one emotion that I'm having. The second is, of course, a little bit of fear and excitement. Um, I'm stepping into a different culture. I mean, obviously, it's a culture that is, not completely foreign to my own or anything like that, but it is different. It's Northern Europe. It's not the United States. I have a little bit of irrational fears. For example, um, here in the United States, I'm often considered more reserved, um, quiet, maybe a little bit aloof, though I never mean to be rude about it or anything like that. But I'm worried, strangely enough, that in a place like Estonia, I might be like considered like the corny American, the gregarious American who talks too much and he's too friendly or whatever. So I'm a little bit kind of not too concerned about that, but a little bit. And another thing that I'm concerned about along similar lines is that the other times I've lived abroad, of course, I lived in Turkey, and of course, Turks are very friendly and they're very hospitable and they're very nice people and they're very talkative. Um, I'm not saying, of course, that Estonians or Russians are not these things, that they're rude or anything like that, but it might not be quite the same Southern European mentality and openness. So I am a little bit concerned about that as a foreigner. It's not so much that I'll be mistreated or anyone will treat me badly. Is it will I be able to, um, uh, you know, establish relationships? Will I be able to uh, get along with my coworkers? Will I be able to make new friendships over in Estonia? Um, I hope it will be that way, but you never know. And these are sort of the insecurities you have. Of course, I'm having all the anxieties about flying, um, and getting on an airplane and hoping that airplane lands where it's supposed to. That's a big one. I mean, not that it lands where it's supposed to, but it lands on time. So that's a big problem. Um, Now, I do have a huge window between flights, so it shouldn't be a problem. And I'm flying business class, which, right. So, hopefully it won't be a problem. Also, of course, you always have anxiety about starting a new job. How will your coworkers like you? How will they react to you? Um, how will you fit into the company culture? And that sort of, I always have those feelings as well. Um, as for Estonia itself, on the plane, I'll be doing a little bit of reading. I'll be reading particularly more about Estonian history, um, but also, of course, the history of the Russian Empire on my travels. Um, uh, as a undergrad and as a graduate, I did study quite a lot of Eastern Europe. My minor in university was East European Studies, and that was eventually what I went on and got a graduate degree in, a master's degree in Russian East European Studies, even though my area of expertise was the Balkans, particularly Croatia. But I do know the general history of Estonia. I am informed upon it. I know about the nationality question. post 1991. So I do know the general facts of the country. I do know the history of the Soviet Union, the history of the Russian Empire to an extent, much more so than your average American, obviously. But just generally, I would say, I would venture to say I'm pretty informed. Um, Always at these times, I do feel you always go into the back of your head: are you making the right decision? Um, it's not moving to New York or moving to LA. I mean, it's moving to Estonia, all the way across the world. Um, and it does seem surreal sometimes, and sometimes I can't believe that I'm doing it. And I can't believe how different my life is than so many other people. Um, but at the same time, I'm really looking forward to it. And all those things I said about having anxiety about a different culture and a different part of the world, that's also a sense of excitement. I haven't been to the north. I mean, I know Southern Europe quite well and Central Europe quite well, but I've never been to the north, and I'm looking forward to it. And of course, again, it's not going to be um, some bizarre alien culture. I mean, I know what to expect, but it is exciting, and being able, of course, to travel to all these great cities: Helsinki, St. Petersburg, Stockholm, Riga. I mean, that's going to be really wonderful. And of course, I'm going to be living in Tallinn, which is a beautiful city itself. Um, I'm really looking forward to it. Again, if anyone is Estonian or an Estonian Russian, or a Russian, or just somebody from the Baltics, or somebody who's traveled extensively in the Baltics, if you want to leave a comment and tell me what I should expect or anything like that, that would be great. Of course, I probably won't have time to read it because I'm getting on the plane tomorrow morning, but still, it would be awesome. Thanks a lot. Bye.